Hey everyone, I'm Jaythonis. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we left off, we were going through doing the Remembrance quests for all the different starting areas. So last one left is for Gridania. So we're just going to keep on going through there. It'll probably be a shorter episode. We're probably going to stop after we do that. And maybe like after we choose like a grand company. That's probably when we'll stop. So we're going to hop right in. So here we go.
If you want to play the whole game, you have to pay for it.
That never exists.
Jeremy, is Jeremy here, or did he leave?
Sometimes when you're cool, Trenton, you just get the game for free.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I thought that's what he did. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the ticket now and head to Gridania.
Okay. I'll wait for him.
I don't know what I'm doing, Mom. Oh.
Ew.
I guess I'm telling this.
I'm probably gonna just do this one and then maybe get the faction, the Grand Company thing, and I'll probably just call it a night after I'm done with this one.
I'm doing my company stuff or whatever.
I'll probably just get the Grand Company thing. Depending on how long it takes, I'll probably just get the Grand Company and call it a night.
I mean, like do the entire quest or whatever?
No, like I'll probably choose one and then I'll stop after that because I'm a little tired.
Okay, I have returned.
Okay, I already took
the
airship, Jeremy.
I was waiting for you.
Ashley's waiting for you.
Nice chicken, Jamil.
Why is my
Jeremy
toe
calls a
itchy?
chicken?
Sorry, brain fart. I sat there and I stared at the airship landing button like,
Nope.
button?
Don't care.
Do I press button?
Need to go to Old
I definitely
Gridania,
didn't pick the snake people. Why am I doing so many snake people missions?
Are you sure you didn't? Did you do it on accident?
No, I'm fairly certain because I went to the Maelstrom office.
Did you though?
Ha 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 ha. Do you have a chicken?
Give it.
No.
No, what is this?
How do I skip it? It's escape, right? Yeah.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
did you get a chicken?
Get out of here.
Magic.
Pets.
You get it when you
Why
pick
is
a
my
Grand Company and you
pink
do like a quest for them. You get
itch?
the chicken egg. and stuff.
Oh, I'm doing a quest right now.
Chimkin? Chimkin? Do I get
No,
Chimkin?
that's not the same thing.
Yeah, when do you get that?
I think at
Do you
the
have
end
to
of
finish
the
this
thing.
mission set?
Yes.
Oh.
I
think that's what I'm doing, I'm not sure.
I'll probably just do it on my own tomorrow or
I
something.
don't have any teleports for this place.
Nah, come on. Come out this way.
Just
I
run.
don't know.
I
Anyone
just want
choose
to get to.
Erwin or
Show me
whatever?
the way, Ashley. After all, this is your homeland.
Let's go. Let me lead you through my homeland.
I haven't started any of these. I haven't started any of these crafting missions
No.
either yet.
Crafting missions. Forget that, man.
Yeah, like the leather
You
worker
know,
and the blacksmith and.
I got enough running back and forth and just doing the main missions. Forget that.
I know. I gotta get that chocobo and things will be better. I go here?
I am slow.
Destination. Here we go.
Oh, I have to dance in front of it. Hold on, Mom.
Here we go. And here we goes another one.
I lost my son to the calamity. The three seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelves Wood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian.
Okay.
An elegant symbol, Do you not agree?
I feel like you guys are stalking me, by the way.
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness.
Person did not blink at all, by the way. That was kind of creepy.
For the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat.
Now I know this isn't the end because that was way too quick. There's gonna be at least like another 3 minutes of dialogue. There we go.
The Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
Interesting. She talked this time.
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the forest. For the elementals!
All right. How can they see? A person see? Their hair is like directly in their eyeballs. I have long hair, and it's hard for me to see.
Fancy meeting you again.
Okay, come on now. You've been following me. You're stalking me. Clearly stalking me. And that's all you say? And then you... Okay, no, they're going to give me exposition again. That's right. Pixel. Don't forget to pause and read this at your own pace if you want. Sure. Yeah, the war's gonna come no matter what. All right, they're done.
I just skip every cutscene because I just don't care.
If I was to label these episodes with like a name, I would call this one Exposition.
That'd be a good one.
Only talking.
Be a good name for this.
Or Holy Talking Batman.
If I were to name this episode, it would be how to get your steps in.
How do we... you have 10,000 steps. You have achieved 10,000 steps today.
It's 4 minutes into the day.
Like,
run
okay,
back
so,
and forth between these
so
traders 30
this episode I was gonna just like, I mean, I'm still gonna call it short, but gotta go back to Waking Sands. But I was curious to see how long it just took me generally to do that whole thing, right? The whole from Gridania to the end of this. It was 12 minutes, just 12 minutes of nothingness.
Yeah, that's actually this whole.
Go ahead.
This game feels like it. A lot of times it feels like just a bunch of really freaking boring crap until you get to do like a dungeon or something.
The cool thing, yes. Well, I've read online, and I've heard a lot of people say that A Realm Reborn, which is what we're in right now, is honestly the worst of the worst part of it. It's hard. People have said just get through A Realm Reborn and the rest is better. They say it's honestly. So many people have told Square Enix that they need to rework A Realm Reborn's like whole opening main story stuff because it's just so difficult to get through because it's not that the story itself isn't somewhat interesting, it's that it's the way it's introduced is such a slog of just like, you know, like the quest we did you know, a few episodes ago where we had to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It was just like it's too much.
That's what Ashley and Jeremy were getting ready to fast travel, and Ashley's like, "Oh, that's expensive. I don't want to fast travel there." And like the game gave you 1,500 gil because it knew you were just gonna have to fast travel back and forth because it was going to be obnoxious.
Right, and that's the thing I'm saying is like I know I've definitely seen and watched some reviews on stuff, and people definitely say that the Realm Reborn stuff is just, it's almost insufferable. They're like, it's bad. It's hard to play through it. If you can talk to somebody or, you know, play the game with somebody to where you're not alone, it's definitely better to do it that way. So I think that really just makes it easy to go through this stuff whenever we're all playing, because it's just like I get the general gist of the story. I generally know what's going on. But there's just so much of it that I'm just like, this is just filler. It just feels like this is filler, and I don't.
That's exactly what it feels like. Like the filler arc of an anime.
And I just don't know that I care enough. I just feel like, I just don't care. Like, not that the story itself is not somewhat interesting. It's just that it's like it's so it's so obtuse that I'm just like I don't care enough to pay attention to it really. You know, there is some interesting moments, you know, but like you said, like you get to the dungeons and the dungeons are so good. I love the dungeons. They're so much fun.
Yeah,
but like
they're actually fun to do.
But like you like these main quest ones where it's just back and forth and like talking to person A to go talk to person B. I don't want to do that. I just, you know, I pay basically what I do is I pay attention to the main stuff for Ul'dah. Like I pay attention to a little bit for it. But like Limsa and Gridania, I just kind of zone out. I'm just like, yeah, you know, like, and then like, you know, at the end you have like those two Ellas and like talking to you, right? And they're like telling you what's happening. They're just giving you exposition on why each starting town is like, oh, they're doing good, but this is the negative for it. And they were all basically the same. It was like, hey, you know, they're suffering because internal conflict. They're suffering because they won't fight. They're suffering because all they want to do is fight. So I'm like, you know, I'm like, I don't care enough about that. And I think part of it too is whenever the dialogue is just reading it, it's hard for me to just read it. Like when there's actual like voice acting, I can get behind it a little bit more. But generally, it's just these main story things are just they're an absolute just slog to get through, and I just want to get through them. But because I'm recording, I don't want to just skip it, you know, like. But honestly, like if somebody's like, hey, I just skipped through 90% of the main quest in A Realm Reborn, I would say I understand. I'd understand.
I have not watched a single cutscene because it's not like you couldn't you honestly if you're just watching it and you wanted, okay, so like I've heard the next DLC has a good storyline. Like I've heard after A Realm Reborn, everything else has like it's got good stuff. Like it's actually a really good storyline for the rest of it. It's just A Realm Reborn it's not good. So it's like, oh, you got to get through this to get to the good stuff. I will be interested to see what happens further, because at a certain point, like, you could have the greatest quest line ever. Like, you could have a fantastic story.
Sure.
But if 20% of that quest line is still me running back and forth, talking to two people who are 2 feet apart, it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not any fun. Yeah, I get you.
I spent the last 20 minutes running back and forth, and I finally got to kill something.
Well, I mean, I'm now 17 minutes recording. I have not fought or attacked anything in those last 17 minutes. I haven't done anything besides run from here to run to here to talk to person A then to go back and talk to person B. That's just not fun gameplay. That's not a good gameplay loop. That's not good. And I don't think that's how it is later. I've heard it's way better. It's way more interesting. You know, the gameplay is way better. That's what people have said. Is this game just really struggles to get through this. A Realm Reborn is just hard to get through because, like, I actually genuinely enjoy the combat. Like, whenever I get to fight something, I'm like, this is fun. There's a strategy involved in it, and it feels good to play. But so often I'm just doing these main storylines back and forth, and I don't know. Maybe some of the more side quest stuff is not as bad, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm doing the main story because main story basically pushes you through levels. So
yeah, I mean, I told Ashley and Jeremy, I'm like, this is nothing like my first experience, for instance, playing Guild Wars, right? Like Guild Wars, you play Guild Wars 2?
What grand company our adventurer friend
you don't run back and forth for an hour.
The wheels of change are
kill enemies for 2 hours.
Brother, are
you know what I mean? Like the early game in Guild Wars blows this early game out of the water.
Oh yeah, it definitely is more
context.
interesting. It definitely is more interesting than this early game stuff.
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies.
Obviously, I can't say to whether they're on par later on, but it's.
Well, I mean, I would assume it's got to be better, because so many people play this game. Like, I mean, a lot of people play this. A lot of people, like to the point where it made a huge dent in World of Warcraft's player base. So, and I have heard nothing you just said and nothing I have said has that I've not heard the Final Fantasy XIV fan base say you're wrong about what we just said. I've not heard that what we just said is wrong. I've heard that exact thing. Hey, it's bad. Get through it. It gets so much better. Like, to where it almost feels like a different game. But they will say, hey, the beginning is bad. It is bad. It's hard to get through.
Needless to say, the beast tribes
We'll see. You said something. I was going to make a point about something. I forget what it was now.
So,
But it's like,
wounds
there's a
falls to the
whole slew
scions
of
the
issues
Seventh
that are
Dawn.
almost like early
Remembrance
game that,
will yield
holy
no
frick,
remedy.
man.
If our world is to heal,
Listen,
we must put the horrors
if
of the
it wasn't
calamity behind us.
For like, I told Ashley
Our
and
grandfather would
and-
never
and
entrust
Brent-
the
or
fate of
Brendan
the
and
realm to
Jeremy,
despots who rewrite
like-
history to their convenience.
when you asked me to play this, I had to seriously consider it for a day. I was like, man, am I gonna be able to like play this
There
and not
must
just
be another
want
way
to like
cure what
tear my
ails this
eyes out?
You are most welcome to
Because
try.
you know how I feel
Our
about
paths
MMOs
may
in general.
differ.
Like I'm
I should
particular
hope
about
so.
how they play.
Mm-hmm.
This is everything I dislike about an MMO.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
right off the gate. Like I could have, if I took every quest right now, I would have
We
like
share
900
the
quests.
burden of this. The
Oh, yeah,
cycle will
yeah, we
serve
would have a
not only
bunch.
to close up our present wounds,
We would have a bunch.
And they would
but
mean nothing.
prevent old
Yeah, like
It
this
would mean
whole
nothing
this whole
because
thing.
the story has leveled me everywhere I've needed to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those things where it's not. I gotta pick my thing here. It's not any. It's just not well done. You know, the early game definitely struggles a lot. It's like you go back and forth between things, and it's not an enjoyable experience. So like, I don't know if you've ever watched Josh Strife Hayes on YouTube. He does like MMO
No.
reviews and stuff, and he's very informative and stuff, and like things he says, and he talks about a lot about the early games and different quit moments, and he's referenced A Realm Reborn, specifically A Realm Reborn, and how there's a lot of quit moments for a lot of people because it's just so hard, and he's like, yeah, you got to get through it. It does get better, but he's like, they really need to rework it because it's like there's just so many moments where you just like, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
My quit moment, if you will. Do you
I'm
want to
gonna-
have one of those?
I'm
Oh,
gonna get off.
mine was the last. What?
Okay,
What's that, Ashley?
I'm gonna head off.
All right, I'll see you. All right, bye. Love you.
Already,
Bye, Ashley, love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Oh, Jeremy
My-
left. He didn't even say bye.
Yeah, he didn't. My quit moment was starting in Limsa Lominsa. I kid you not.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
If it wasn't playing with everyone else, I would have quit immediately. I'd be like, this is awful. I spent
Yeah,
the first 3 hours running up and down flights of steps and getting lost.
yeah, that
That's
town
not
is awful.
fun in any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, that town is awful. Well, honestly, like for me, my quit moment wasn't like to push my quit moment for pushing through wasn't the town. Uldaw's fine. Uldaw makes sense. I don't have a problem with Uldaw. I like Uldaw thematically. It looks good. The town looks cool. It's interesting to me. I've got no problem with Uldaw. My quit moment was not last episode, but the prior episode where we had to run back and forth between so many different quest things. You know, it was just so much. It was okay. I can do the whole running back and forth for MMOs generally because I enjoy MMOs a lot. So I can pass that. Like, hey, go kill 10 things and come talk to this person and go back out and kill something again and then come back to me and talk. I can do that maybe once or twice, right? And I'm okay. But the go run over here really far away and then run back over here and then you take that quest, you turn it in, and then he wants you to go do something else and you go do that and you do that more than twice. At more than twice for me, I'm done. Like I'm like that's too much. That's too much running back and forth. I don't want to do that anymore. It makes me frustrated. But anyways, I'm gonna end the episode here. So give me 1 second here. All right. Sorry for that little rant that we went on there. I think a lot of frustration right now is just like the kind of running back and forth thing. I think once we get to Chocobo, it should help things where we're not running back and forth. Generally, I think everyone enjoys playing. It's just some of the quests in running back and forth is just kind of frustrating. So, but we'll push through it and we're gonna keep going. we're gonna, like I said before, we're gonna finish this game out and we're gonna get to the next DLC stuff. I don't know what level it is. I think it's 50. So we're kind of getting there. Everyone's around like level 30. So we got like 20 more levels to go. It's just pushing through the main quest stuff. If there's any suggestions on what maybe we need to do some things different, maybe we should break up the monotony and do some side quests that are better. Hey, you know, let me know in the comments below, and you know, we'll do that for sure. But anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified of next episodes. And I'll catch you in the next one. All right, bye bye.